chapter 1, verse 11.
Today you will see a story that will bring, hopefully, a different angle of your experience with Jesus and understanding what his role of the church is. Exodus 1, beginning with verse 11.
Siqala ke verse 11.
I'm reading. So they put slave masters over them to oppress them with forced labor. And they built Pithom and Ramesses and store cities for Pharaoh. But the more they were oppressed, the more they multiplied and spread. So the Egyptians came to dread the Israelites and worked them ruthlessly. They made their lives bitter with harsh labor in brick and mortar and with all kinds of work in the fields. In all their harsh labor, the Egyptians worked them ruthlessly. The king of Egypt said to the Hebrew midwives, whose names were Shiphrah and Puah, when you are helping the Hebrew women during childbirth on the delivery stool, if you see that the baby is a boy, kill him. But if it is a girl, let her live. The midwives, however, feared God and did not do what the king of Egypt had told them to do. They let the boys live. Then the king of Egypt summoned the midwives and asked them, why have you done this? Why have you let the boys live? The midwives answered Pharaoh, Hebrew women are not like Egyptian women. They are vigorous and give birth before the midwives arrive. So when God sees the murderer coming, he speeds up the birth. Amen. So, hallelujah, somebody. Someone who was being overlooked or ignored, that was me. You failed to do it to me. Then those goats will be herded to their eternal doom, but the sheep to their eternal reward. May God bless us as we continue to read the word of the living God. I want to talk to you very briefly, I think, on the subject, look who's sitting on the delivery stool. Look who's sitting on the delivery stool. I have discovered that the person that delivers the baby may be the most important person on this planet. They have the skill or the defect to either make the baby grow and get a good start, or make it have a happenstance that's negative and cause it to live crippled. Minded of my own boys, my firstborn was born in Michigan, the state of Michigan. And to cut things short, when I saw him come out of the womb, I got real dejected. I could not figure out why this boy looked the way he did. I started asking God to forgive me of all the sins I did to create something that looked like this. His ears were still folded in. His head was cone-shaped. He had no footprints. I said, Lord, what is this? So I looked to the person on the delivery stool, the doctor that delivered him. I said, Doctor, what's wrong with this baby? The doctor looked at my head, at my baby's head, looked back at my head, and said his head looks just like his daddy's head. I said, well, if that's the case, this boy's going to be all right then. But when they delivered him, he had jaundice. And they began to immediately do something so he would not be impacted the rest of his life. My second boy, when he was being delivered, I was over the shoulder of the doctor on the delivery stool. Suddenly, as I was taking pictures, the doctor looked down and began to scream and say, push, push, push. The boy's head would come and go back. It would come to the surface and go back. The doctor would reach inside and pull the umbilical cord. And then I saw the trouble. The umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck 2 times. And he had to get the baby out for any chance of saving him. When I looked down, I said, this boy is not going to make it. That boy came out, he was all blue. The doctor began to shake him. The doctor began to shake him and shake him. And like a cheerleader, the doctor would say to that boy, come on, come on, you can make it, you can make it, you can do this. A whimper came in, they rushed him and put oxygen on him. Today he's 33 years of age. He's an athletic trainer. He helps other people have great healthy lives. I discovered that doctor could have said this baby didn't make it. Let the baby die. God takes a look at what the church can and cannot do.
uNkulunkulu uyabheka ngqo ukuthi ibandla lingakwenza lokho angeke likwenze lokho.
Pharaoh is trying to kill his replacement, he thinks. Pharaoh believes he's the only king that should exist. And he's heard that another king is coming. So he orders that every baby 2 years and below, when he couldn't kill him on the delivery stool, he figured it's 2 years and he's got to get the next king. But there are two women. We don't hear that they were ordered by God to save babies. But because they were raised in godly homes, they recognize that God believes and cares about social justice. Because some Christians believe that social justice is supposed to be on this side and the church is supposed to be on this side. They don't believe that God, when he calls a Christian to service, is asking them to participate. Social justice. You cannot let community be in pain and be a child of God and walk away from the pain to excuse the behavior saying, I got to go to church. But Jesus will say, you passed up church trying to get in the church. Have mercy. These two women would not kill the boy. They let him live because they feared God more than they feared Pharaoh. I wish that the church had more leaders who would not be afraid of the pharaohs in the church as well as the pharaohs out of the church. Because if we had more women who sat on the stool or those who were in charge of early things, the power of the church would be feared by every other organization on the planet.